Welcome to the Section 325 podcast.
The second half.
The second half. Well, we're clearly over the hump into the second half of the season, and it's coming down to the last week now.
Yeah, and you know what that means? There are some fantasy champion winners out there.
Already,
and,
yeah.
And that football is the wrong football here. I got to put this one right here.
Well, it's going to block my face.
No, you're good.
Did you win your championship?
I did.
Oh, man.
I won.
Send this to everybody in your league?
Oh,
now?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I won the trophy. It stays home here. I'm pretty happy about it because I'm also winning in another fantasy league that I'm in. And it looks like I'll be taking that one home too.
Well, here's the good news for me. I didn't win, but I also didn't lose because I didn't play.
Are you still in the shot?
I think so. But anyway, congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
I think that's the only victory that you and I are going to feel.
Yeah.
Seahawks have found their way out of the playoffs. Now they have to hope for help. The Broncos benched Russell Wilson, got a victory, but the Chiefs rallied to come back.
Yeah, with the benching of Russell, it looks like he's probably done there in Denver. Unless somehow he structures his contract and
he's done.
But he's done.
You saw his
absolutely.
What is that thing? It's not Twitter anymore.
It's X. Yeah. So
he said, "Looking forward to what God has in plan," or whatever, something like that.
Something like that. But yeah, he's done in Denver, which is, unfortunately, it had to come down to that. But when you look at his stats, he was
Tim Tebow still won more playoff games than Russell Wilson in Denver.
In Denver, yeah. But if you look at his stats, like he's an average quarterback, maybe a slightly above average. And then when Stidham went in, or not Stidham, Staham went in,
Stidham.
Yeah, Stidham. Yeah,
I had it right the first time.
I had it right the first time.
I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, anyway, he had average stats too. So if we just have a quarterback that can run Sean Payton's offense, because there's times when Russell did not, and he avoided or couldn't see wide open receivers because that was talk about the locker room. Like there are players that came together and was like, hey, he is missing these wide open receivers. And that kind of maybe stirred the pot up a little bit there. But
I think that's probably why he was so successful in Seattle, because we don't know how to draw up an offensive play to save our lives. So just by him ad-libbing, that's when he's best, out of the pocket and just playing backyard football.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting offseason again for Denver. But yeah, that's hopefully we can beat the Raiders and have a winning season at 9-8.
I will say this: I don't think you can blame that on Russell Wilson at all. He had a top 10. He was in the top 10 on almost every category throwing the ball. It's just that he didn't do anything electric, nothing exciting.
No,
and that's what kind of got him to where he is. And that stuff's just not there anymore. But that's not his fault.
Yeah, and he's also more into himself.
Yeah,
and I think that has changed him, especially when he first started off in Seattle. So his character, I mean, he's a good guy and all. His character changed quite a bit. I mean, not in a bad way or anything, but it probably got him where he is now. It's where Sean Payton doesn't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
So,
anyway. Yeah, well, good for Sean Payton. Hopefully he gets what he wants, and the Broncos can be more competitive. I think that they, like the Seahawks, there's no way they're beating the 49er, Ravens type teams, because they look absolutely unstoppable. Well, you want to be on the show?
Yeah. Kona's
in the show.
Apparently Kona wanted to come over here. First time.
Raiders got eliminated. Sorry, John Thurston, but you're used to it by now.
Yeah.
It's been how many years in a row? Who knows? But
they haven't been in the playoffs in 5 years, I think, or 6 years, and then they haven't really won a playoff game since the time they went to the Super Bowl in 2002.
Well, let's talk about a couple things that need to be talked about. One, the Dolphins right back to not being able to play against teams with winning records, especially Baltimore. Whoa.
They got a whooping.
56.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a whooping.
What?
That was a score.
And then Chubb's out for the year for
Chubb's
Denver. They've lost two defensive ends now, one to an Achilles injury and now one to an ACL. So it looks like Miami's going to be another year away of competing for a Super Bowl. But like I said, Seattle, they choked. But the biggest story we're talking about before we started is the Detroit Dallas game.
Yeah.
Detroit's down. And I thought to myself before they scored their touchdown, I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if they went for two and just got out of there with a win?
Oh, absolutely.
So they do. They score. They go for two. I'm like, no way.
Oh,
Here
it
we
was
go.
amazing. I loved
They
it.
throw it to the offensive lineman, and he scores the 2 point
Two-point.
conversion. Game is over. Whether they're 4 seconds, 24 seconds left, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, and flag on the play.
And apparently, number 70 reported, but not number 68.
But when you look at the replay, 68 is already talking to the ref.
70 never reported.
And then 70 comes in, and because that was the intentional of them saying, hey, this is what we're going to be doing to when it comes down to it. This is before pregame. The coach is explaining to the refs that they're going to come in to you, but 68 is going to report. And it might look like two players are reporting. And Decker, number 68, was still the one reported, talking to the ref, and he's the one that made the catch.
He is the one that made the catch, and both of us hate the Cowboys. So to see that get reversed and then go in favor of the Cowboys is just stupid. But obviously, they is the league scripted? I mean, you wonder now because you're like, the NFC East hasn't had the same divisional champion. The same team hasn't won twice in like years.
Back to back, yeah.
In years.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden the Eagles keep losing. So do they just want Dallas to win the division and
I don't know,
keep that going? I don't know. It's you got to do something. Now I did see something, and you
NFL
don't know
drama.
how true it is because I saw it on TikTok, but it said that the referee crew got demoted from being a playoff crew now. They will not be in the playoffs because of that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how it happened because that happened against even the Bills Chiefs game. That referee, even though it was a good call on that offsides back then, and he's not going to be able to play or referee in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean the loss doesn't hurt Detroit. They're still going to have that first round. But what did they get? First round bye?
No, it's Niners have the.
Oh, but they could have because they would have jumped ahead of Dallas
if
Philly.
Niners lost, they would have. But no, Dallas, they get the number 2 seed regardless if they win. So they can't get the number 1 seed.
Well, not the number 1, but you still get a first round bye.
Not
1
anymore.
and 2 seeds.
Not anymore. No, remember when we added that 7th team?
So only the first?
Only the first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that didn't make a difference. They
no,
still get a home game.
They just get a home game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously they know they can go into Dallas and win as long as the refs don't help. But yeah, it's come down to the wire now. I think we kind of know who the playoff teams are going to be. Yeah, there's still some stuff that could happen. I mean, this has been a weird year of close games and upsets.
It's been a weird year overall, and I'm calling it the year of the backup QBs. Almost seems like every other team has had their backup play at least once.
Well, GM of the year should go to the Cleveland Browns GM for bringing Flacco in and the way he's playing.
They've gone through 4 quarterbacks. They've had 4 different starting quarterbacks, and here they are. They clinched the playoffs.
And here I thought that number 10, who played with Carolina a couple years ago, was playing well.
Was that Walker?
Yeah, they released him.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like...
well, not when you have Joe off the couch swinging away, so...
Making $800,000 a year while the guy who's hurt is supposed to be the savior of the team that did inappropriate things on the massage table is sitting at home counting his money. Counting his money. But so is Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't feel bad for him.
No, he's got all that money. It just didn't work out.
No.
It's a business, and they're willing to cut their losses. Not that Wilson's washed up by any means, but...
No. He'll go to a team that needs a quarterback. Vikings, I know, will need one. Cousins will be a free agent. You know, you mentioned Washington, Atlanta, Arizona, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the league, I think, is the only game I can think of that's really coming down the wire is Miami and Buffalo.
Yep, that's the Sunday night game.
Yeah,
last game of the year.
What again?
Yeah.
So the winner's going to win the division because the Bills will have swept Miami.
So yeah.
And they'll end up
Winner
tied.
will have the division. Miami is already in the playoffs, but if Bills lose, they can still not make the playoffs.
Right.
Just on how everything might pan out
Yeah.
with the other games.
So it's a weird year. I'm sure we'll cover all that and
will.
we'll get into it. So let's get into, is the top 10 still happening?
Yep, top 10.
Wolves power ranks. Here we go.
Yeah.
Eagles just
hanging
in there.
I almost didn't want to put them in there.
Well, they're in the playoffs for crying out loud. They played well early and they could still refine it, but oh man. Rams just playing good football right now. I don't know that anybody who's playing any better in the NFC, even including the 49ers.
Nope. They oh shoot.
That's okay. We'll be all right. Chiefs, Rams. Chiefs still there. They had a nice win.
Yeah, they go up.
They go up. I believe the Rams are up.
Yeah, it'll show up later. Just don't have it in order. But yeah, Rams, they went up. Dolphins, they dropped down.
They deserve to drop down.
They were top 5 last week.
Here's the deal: that whoever Baltimore's playing, they're just whooping up on, except for the Cleveland Browns and the Rams.
Yep. So Bills go up.
Bills go up. Yeah, they look good. Dolphins down. Browns holding in there. Number 5,
Cowboys go up.
Obviously, they played a good game. Lions and Cowboys.
Even though the Lions lost against the Cowboys, they both still go up. Cowboys, I think I had at 7 or 6 last time, so they jump up a little bit higher. But I still think
the Lions won the game.
They won the game.
They won the game. They did everything they were supposed to do.
Yep.
Niners too, obviously a very good team. They look good. They came back, look good again, and then the Ravens. Wow, you guys are lucky. You have a defense and an offense, a great coach.
That's almost my Super Bowl favorite right there.
Who's gonna beat them?
I don't know.
I mean, they can get beat. I
would like to see the Lions. I think the Lions could beat the Niners, but Niners is a contender if they are 100% healthy. Right now with Christian McCaffrey,
that loss,
he's injured right now,
might just be the best thing that ever happened to the Lions, because not only does it not feel good, but now you're pissed off that you had to even put it in a 2-point conversion. They know they're good enough. They just got to play that much tougher and just go in pissed off into the playoffs, because I certainly would be.
Yep. There's a couple clicks and then the arrows will pop up. I didn't have an order when I did this, so
that's all right. Everybody's moved up except for the Dolphins and the Eagles. Here we go. The NFC playoff picture is pretty wild. Still alive. Seahawks, Saints, Vikings, and Falcons.
Yeah, there's still a few teams in there that's still alive. Pretty much the NFC South, because Falcons, even at 7-9, are still alive.
Yeah.
And the Vikings.
So the Packers have to lose, and the Seahawks have to win to get in.
Yep.
Bucks have to lose, Saints have to win to get in. And then the Falcons and the Vikings are hoping for Seahawk and Packer losses.
And Buck
and Saint losses. So
yeah.
I think that's a lot to ask for all these teams except for the Seahawks. I think they have.
It comes down to the Packer game.
And who
again.
do they play in the Packers?
They play the Bears.
The Bears have been hot.
Oh.
They got nothing to lose.
Oh, I know.
Oh
that's
this is kind of like Detroit last year, playing hot. We can beat them, put the Seahawks in. But here's the bad news, Seahawks fans. Even if we get in, are we good enough to compete against the Niners, Cowboys, Lions, Bucks, Eagles, Rams? I will tell you, the Niners, no. They haven't been able to prove that. Cowboys, they put up a good fight. Not enough in the end. They beat the Lions in Detroit. They haven't had a chance at the Bucks. Beat the Eagles. They got swept by the Rams. Should have beat the Rams in the second game in LA. They had a shot at a field goal, and our stupid kicker missed it. So, yes, they can compete, but unless somebody does us a favor and knocks off the Niners.
Well, and like I said, they need to be 100% healthy, because if they have, like Debo, if he's out for a game, Christian McCaffrey has a calf injury. Which
I didn't hear about Trent.
He should be fine. Trent did walk off. I think it was more of a rib injury. So he should be fine. But again, they have the number 1 seed locked, so they can rest this week.
Yeah,
and they have that first week bye.
Yeah, that's going to be helpful for them.
Or
but you come in cold.
You might come in cold. Yeah, you don't know. So
we'll see what happens.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
And here's the AFC picture. Oh, no more
No
Broncos and
more. They're
Raiders. Sorry,
eliminated.
guys. Sorry, Wolfman.
Hey, you know what? I will take it. I haven't been eliminated in the second to last week in such a long time,
Yeah, I mean,
so
you were there all the way. You had hope.
I had hope.
Hope at every game. Especially early on when you started off
Oh yeah.
0-5, you were like,
One,
oh, no hope.
1-5. Yeah,
1-5.
yeah. So the
So
fact
no,
that we survived till week 17. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's I can remember being in high school and all those years of rooting for the Seahawks, and it was always the hottest team not to make the playoff. I got so sick of hearing that. But anyway, so quickly, Ravens overall #1 in the NFL, no doubt. Dolphins, I don't know they deserve that 2 ranking. I think they're just as good as the Chiefs, the Jags, the Browns, the Bills, and the Colts. The only difference is these guys and these guys, the Browns and the Bills, are playing hot.
Yeah.
So, and that's what you want to be playing is your best football at the end of the year. And I don't feel like the Dolphins and Chiefs and Jaguars are doing that. The Ravens definitely are. The Browns and the Bills are. And I just don't know that the Colts are good enough.
I can see the Final Four being Ravens and Bills. Or Ravens and Browns, I guess, in the Final Four.
What a game would that be?
And then on the NFC side would be Niners and Lions.
Here's the deal, though. Has Flacco gone up against the defense that the Ravens can bring? Because, I watched the end of that Brown victory over the Ravens, and Deshaun Jackson just took over.
Mm-hmm.
He was running all over the field. No. Deshaun. Oh, Deshaun Watson. Sorry, okay. I said Jackson. Deshaun Watson was running all over the Ravens and gave them that opportunity to get down and kick that game-winning field goal. Wow. So you don't have that with Flacco. No. However, Flacco's just back in the pocket like, jeez, this is easy.
Well, and it's probably his offensive linemen are probably loving it because then they know what their assignment is and just keep the pocket clean.
And here's 2 teams here that are actually deserving of the playoffs. The Texans and Steelers, they have some nice victories along the way.
Steelers, 14 years in a row with a winning season.
Good for them.
Well, would you rather have, I know they won a Super Bowl back in, was it 08, 07? Something like that against the Cardinals. Was that their last Super Bowl win?
Yes, I think it was. That would have been 06. Okay. No. That was 08.
08. Yep.
08 season, 09.
Yeah. So anyway, would you rather have the last 10 years of a winning football season every year and just not make the playoffs, or make the playoffs but just lose in the playoffs, or would you like to have that one good year and make the Super Bowl and win in a 10-year span as your team?
Man, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
I mean, they did get their Super Bowl and they've stayed.
Well, Super Bowl is back in 08.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But in 10 years.
Man, I'd rather have a Super Bowl championship every 10 years.
Yeah.
At least you get that 1 year to look back on instead of just like, we
were almost there every year.
We were almost good.
Yeah. See, I'd rather have the Super Bowl win and then like at least compete a few years and like, okay, we step back and readjust if you need to.
Yeah, I feel like the Seahawks did that for years after their back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, one victory over the Broncos.
Yeah.
And after that, we were competing. We had a shot. We were right there. But just, other teams, I felt like wanted it more.
Yeah.
And then now we're a team, it's like we're just scratching and clawing just to make the playoffs, and we're not good enough to win in the playoffs, even if we make it. So, I don't know. They don't deserve to be there. If they get there, thank you, Packers. All right, here we go. I don't know if I gained any traction.
And again, I didn't put the thing in order, so I might jump around here with the X's and circles. So yeah, I went 5-0. Sorry, Sean.
Wow, took it.
I think the only way you can win now is if you get the sweep and I lose.
Lose out. Well, anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
Let's get after it because now I'm pissed off and I want this.
There you go.
Random picks from the bag. Here we go.
Okay, so
it's our last one.
This is our last one, and I picked all playoff games, meaning
that's all that's in here.
Yeah, that's all that's in there. So like the Jets and the Patriot game, that's not in here. The Broncos and the Raiders game, that's in there. So, anyways, games that matter.
Seahawks at Cardinals. Cardinals are the hotter team. They're at home. Seattle doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs, so I'm picking the Cardinals.
Oh, really?
I'm mad.
You're that man, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I got the Falcons at the Saints. I think I think the Saints is the better team here. I think they
They're
really
definitely the better team. They just don't play
they
like
just haven't been playing like the better team. Um, you know, oh man, this might be tough because Falcons might just try to give it all. But it's
I hope they're giving it all.
Yeah, well, I think the Saints, they know they can win. They can maybe possibly win the division. And if they still win and Bucks win against Carolina, there still might be a chance for them to make the wild card. So I think if more is on the line for the Saints. Falcons, if they win, they have to hope for the best with other teams.
Yeah, they still don't have a quarterback.
So I'm going to pick the Saints.
Good pick. I would have too. All right. The Vikings and the Lions. This is an easy pick for me. Well, I don't know. Can the Lions afford to rest?
Yeah, they can rest if they choose to. But the Vikings, they're going to need a win. And yeah, will Lions rest? But will they rest till their last game of the season?
I'm going to take the Lions.
I got the other NFC North.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, Bears and Packers. I think what happened last year, and it's in Lambeau, and the Lion game last year was in Lambeau. So I think what happened last year, Packers, they know they have to redeem themselves. So I'm going to go with the Packers on this one.
Good one.
But this will be a good game. Bears will just give it all out.
Yeah, they're ready. Yeah. The Bears are ready to compete. Yep. Here's those lowly Jaguars not doing much against the Titans. I think the Jags have to have this to win the division because it's come down.
It's in their hands, basically.
Yeah, so I'm going to take the Jags over the Titans.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, the game of the week. Game of the year. So far. Well,
I know who I'm taking.
Yeah, you know what? The Bills all day long right now. Dolphins, Bills beat them earlier this season, like 40-something to 20.
They killed them.
They killed them. So, but Buffalo is going to come and drop some dimes in Miami. So
yeah, sorry, man. But hey, good news is you're in the playoffs already. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Rest your players, Miami. You need it.
Here we go. The Steelers just came in and basically manhandled the Seahawks. They just wanted it more. They're going into Baltimore. Baltimore doesn't even need to play in this game.
I don't think so.
They could rest, but Pittsburgh has to have it. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have got this one. This is a tough one because
kind of the same thing with the Viking Lions. Like,
I'm gonna take the Steelers.
Yeah, I think I would have too. Yeah. But as a Ravens, like, you don't want your divisional team in the playoffs, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I got the
that divisional team beat them earlier this year.
I got the Texans at the Colts, both fighting for that wild card and possibly the division if Jacksonville loses. So, yeah, if that happens, the winner of this game will be the divisional champ. But
really,
you know what? I'm going to go with Minshew and the Colts.
Yeah, come on. Let's go, do it. Magic.
Yeah.
Okay, last pick of the year over here during the regular season. The Eagles just struggling right now at the New York Giants. I'm taking the Eagles all day long in this one.
And I have the other NFC East team.
Remember when that used to be a battle?
Yeah. Cowboys, I hate picking the Cowboys again. They're going to need a win just to hold on to the division. So I'm going to pick the Cowboys even though they lose on the road.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's the last one that we didn't pick. What was it?
The Bucks
and Carolina.
in Carolina. Nobody who's going to even watch this game. Easy. The Bucks should handle that one.
But yeah, those are all the playoff matter games. So tell us what you think. What your 10 games, maybe even 11 games. Throw that in there, I guess. The Bucks and Carolina. But yeah, that's your picks of the week.
Last week of the season. Next week we'll be talking playoffs. We'll have everything solidified. And then we get down to see who's going to make it to the dance, the big show, as they say.
I will say, John, he picked on his picks this week 5-5. He went 500.
Yeah. Well, he should have picked against the Raiders. Yeah. Originally, that's who he had, and then he changed his mind.
Day of, I can't.
Sitting on the toilet having his morning coffee, and he felt bad for a second. Yeah, so that's our show for today, but we're excited about the playoffs.
Next week. We'll have our picks, Super Bowl contenders, I guess, and
yeah, well, let's just pick the whole way through. We'll do our weekly picks.
Yep.
And then we'll pick all the way through to see who our Super Bowl champion is going to be. But who's your early pick for a Super Bowl champion?
Yeah, I think it's the Ravens right now. I'm right there with you. I'm gonna stick that down and hang.
Yeah. If Lamar gets hurt, then it's wide open. But if he's at the helm and he's healthy, there's nobody.
You know, I was actually worried about that. Now that you brought that up, I heard about the 49er curse. Did you hear this?
Yeah.
Where each game that the 49ers lost, they're during their 3-game losing streak. They lost the Browns, the Bengals, and the Vikings. And then the next following week of that team, their quarterback went out for the year. So yes, Watson.
Lamar got away with it.
Lamar got away with it when they beat the Niners a few weeks ago. So.
Yeah, far.
I was so far. So, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, they look good. So, hey, that's our regular season wrap up there. We got one more show to finish. See where we finish with the picks. Looks like Travis is going to get that unless something happens over here.
Yeah,
and I go perfect.
I have to go 0-5, and you have to go 5-0, and we'll be tied. So
yeah. So hey, anyway, right. Good luck.
Should this be our tiebreaker? Just in case. I don't think it would come down to it.
Well, we're both going to take the Bucks.
Yeah, that's true.
No one's taking Carolina. Let's just call it good. Yeah, so that's our wrap up regular season. Looking forward to the playoffs next week. That's section 325.
We're out. Second half.